Hi everybody, welcome to another miRack tutorial. Today I would like to show you how to use the WaveMorph Oscillator from MSC Hack. So I just created a new patch in miRack. Let's click on the plus sign, let's go to tag oscillator, and then let's scroll down and select the OSC WaveMorph 3, and then let's click on add to patch. Let's move these a touch closer to the audio output. The modules were locked, that's why it wouldn't allow me to move it. So let's move it a little bit closer and let's zoom in using pinch in gestures. Here we are. So let's go through the interface. So we have an input on the top here for your pitch, depending on the voltage you provide. We have an invert button to invert the waveform, which is shown here, which we'll show you in a second. You have some preset button, which allows you to choose some presets in terms of waveform. For example, if I click on that, high voltage, square, typical sawtooth, and so on and so forth, even a sine wave. You have a randomize button, which will randomize the different points of the waveform. You just click as many times as you like. And as these oscillator has the capacity to store 3 waveforms, which you see here, 1, 2, 3, you can actually copy one waveform onto the next storage on waveform number 2. In this case, you see number 1 and 2 are exactly the same because a copy number 3 is a voltage 0. Here, as I said, you have 17 points where you can create to use your waveform. You can click on a point and move it up and down. When you do that, you can see other points are moving, which the way that they move is depending on this rubber band dial. So if you put it down to 0, you can move more freely. If you increase that, you affect the other points like an elastic band. You can also draw, and if you click on draw, you can also draw, you can also draw your waveform, like so. Then you have an input to change the waveform. As I said, you can switch between the 3 waveforms. You can also solo one independently of the voltage that you provide to select from one to the other. You have a filter here, dialog with a corresponding input, and then a resonance as well with a corresponding input. And here you can choose your type of filter, like LP, low pass, high pass, notch, etc. And here you have your level of output, which we are going to connect to the left and right of the audio out module. Then next here we have a morph input, and depending on the voltage, it allows you to move from the first to the second to the third waveforms that you stored. So if you provide minus 10 volts, you select waveform number 1, 0 volt number 2, and if you provide 10 volts, you select the third waveform. Of course, if you provide something in the middle, like 5 volt, you will hear part of wave 2 as and part of wave 3, and that is why you can move from one to the other. So now let's record the waveform for each of the 3 slots. So I will increase the level and we'll play with it a bit. As you can see, I have 3 different waveforms which have been created stored. And you can do, it's quite versatile. You can create, what type of forms you desire. Of course, it depends if the number of points which are available are enough for what you need. But in principle, actually, it's quite good oscillator to create some very quick waveforms. I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye.